everybody. Thanks for coming today. We use all of those kind of expertises to predict what's going viral next, kind of like how a computational hedge fund might actually approach social web, and that's what we do. And we actually apply that to video within our new Mashable studios.
It's, we like to say, the ultimate mashup. We have sports, reality, drama, all tied together with in-ring action. What do our fans want? What does the WWE Universe want? We spent a lot of time researching that, and the WWE fan wanted content anytime, anywhere at their choosing. So you have that overlay into this. And we looked at how much consumption was done by the average WWE fan, and at that point in time, it was about 5 times the average person.
Every relationship we've had with every one of these companies has been a tremendous success, and everyone has been marketed completely different.
Just got out of that sick session with the CTO of WWE, the CTO of Mashable. Who else was in there? We had
BizDev from
TiVo,
ML BAM.
from ML BAM, yeah, Major
GM
League Baseball Network, and GM from TiVo, and that was actually like really, like, I thought that was actually pretty cool, because what you're learning about there is like this idea that like these guys who we look up to and go like, wow, they're like the best in the world, and how many collective followers does WWE have across their networks? It was like 800 million or something ridiculous, and like they don't know what they're doing like everyone else. They're just taking their best guess, they're being lean, and they're testing a lot of things, and it's the methodology that like it doesn't really matter who you are, how big you are, like what you think is right. Like you just got to, I guess, start doing.
Yes.
And build with a methodology that encourages doing and embraces doing.
The way he talked about it, he said, we're not launching a rocket, we're just tending a garden. So it was like daily. It
was like we have to like grow the ingredients like collectively, and then they just get assembled over time.
Yes. So there's building a giant rocket, and then 3, 2, 1. We're done.
There is no done. It's like never finished. So it's cool when you look at these huge brands and you wonder like what their ecosystem looks like, their infrastructure looks like. The reality is, in most cases, they're just taking their best guess as well. So yeah, it's cool. Now we are on to the next one. So it turns out McDonald's host their own event here. They have the McDonald's Loft, and what's crazy about this is they literally have like a full punch floor. It's like a virtual reality thing inside where you can try some cool new tech, and then it's like free food. Like everything's like 1 cent. So we're gonna get breakfast. It's not the best breakfast, but it's 1 cent. So woo! That's going to be the cheapest meal anyone has ever consumed at McDonald's. Okay, well played McDonald's, you got our attention. That's pretty crazy. So the startup, which is fictional, as based on the TV show Silicon Valley, have their own like promotional bus in the name of the startup, which is a pretty smart little sort of campaign tool. I'm a big fan of that. That's cool. And that's the other part of South by Southwest. The crazy lines and crazy crowds where you spend ages waiting and waiting and waiting. Alright, so Matt Gillum is trying to tell me that this line is short, which surprises me, but yesterday he lined up for a lot longer than this to see the Google self-driving cars talk from the GM, that division of Google. Pretty long line, but this is what you wait for if you're going to go and see the CMO of BuzzFeed speak about the media evolution. So, probably worth it.
Smells like pizza.
This is a big room, dude.
Like pizza.
It does smell like pizza.
This is a big room.
So this is the CMO of BuzzFeed is about to speak, which we're pretty excited about.
Room for activities.
Where do you want to go? We jump off to the side actually. It's getting busy. We should probably.
The most important thing is building need at the time. They cared about teaching people how to overcome struggle outside the mainstream.
Well, the weather has definitely turned it on for us. We just got out of the session with BuzzFeed, which was a little bit underwhelming compared to what they were like last year when we saw one of their co-founders speak. He was a legend and talked about basically the recipe behind what makes something go viral. That was cool. Whereas in this case, it was much more about them releasing a new product, which is essentially their ad network, if nothing else. It's called Swarm. It's a new BuzzFeed property. So it's still interesting to learn. So we've seen some pretty epic sessions today. Prior to that, we saw a session on how startups and brands can work together. So we looked at it from like an agency perspective, and that one was really cool because you saw this quite cool perspective from people at Pepsi and the LA Dodgers and Visa. These are big brands that are working with startups and agencies and whatever, and that's super cool to get their perspective because they're the types of brands that we as an agency are pitching all the time. So it's really cool to get their perspective on that. The vlogging thing is hard because it's, there's no point sharing a whole session with you guys that's not particularly interesting or fascinating or riveting or anything else. So I'm sort of getting the in-betweens and trying to pick up a few interesting things here or there. So I'm not quite sure on how this will come out, but that's all good. There's Matt over there getting his vlog on behind me. Nice. And yeah, so this is literally the top floor of the Austin Convention Center. It's a pretty good view. It's a spectacular view. After this, we're looking at a few sessions which should be pretty fun to go to. A couple more on content marketing, which are going to be great. And then tonight, maybe a trip up to the outlets up north of Austin. I actually think north is like that way, but I could be wrong. So yeah, stay tuned.
Hey, you guys got the best pedicabs.
Yo.
He's good.
Dude, they love you.
You know, if you're outgoing and nice to people, shit tends to happen.
That's true, I agree. So we're merging now. This is a bit hectic.
Something strange
In the neighborhood.
Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters!
This is great. Alright guys, we are currently in the back of a pedicab on our way to the Sheraton for a couple of sessions this afternoon.
That sounds really cool.
Alright, just got off the pedicab. That was the most interesting commuter experience I've probably ever had in my life. Super funny. The dude was a legend. We chatted about wrestling and stuff in Austin. Apparently Ludacris played at like a tiny bar last night. Like just showed up and took the mic and did a gig. So that's pretty interesting as well. Off to more sessions, this time at the Sheraton Hotel on 11th Street.
And what about me?
Stop talking about it here. We have to. They can feel it. And we should feel it. Yeah, and frankly, I was nervous for you guys. There was a lot of money from HBO riding on the show. I don't think you're making it better.
So I was just trying to work out how to wrap up this day. We actually just went to a panel with the cast and a couple of the writers from the TV show Silicon Valley, the HBO show. They previewed some content from the first episode and then had probably the funniest panel chat I've seen at any South by. It was freaking awesome. Now we're going to head out to the outlet mall and buy some cheap stuff and then back home early night because tomorrow is another huge day. We have just finished at South by. We decided to come out, check out the outlets, doing some shopping now. I am so tired, so can do this, buy some stuff, and then I am out and I am going home. I will see you guys tomorrow.